Hey y'all, it's JessiRenee. Today I'm going to show you how to draw Scar from The Lion King. I am going to go ahead and start in time-lapse and get the general pose down first, and then we can go back and I'll discuss more of the features and more of his defining characteristics as I sketch. So here we go. Okay, now that the base sketch is done, let's go in and add some details. For villains that Disney designs, usually they do like sharp features, pointy features, and Scar is no different. So start with giving him some angry eyebrows. His eyes are almond shaped with kind of little dark bits at each corner, sort of like eyeliner, I guess. He has very tiny pupils, basically like dots. And of course we're going to have to add his scar. I think that eye is a little bit out of place, so I'm just going to move that over and just adjust it. That looks good. For his nose, it's kind of crooked on the nose bridge there. It's a little narrower near his eyes and wider near his mouth. His actual nose is very pointy. And his mouth starts at the bottom of that triangle there. It's kind of like an upside down V. It's not super downward pointed like that or very wide. It's like an in between. And his chin kind of sticks out right there at his mouth. And it's really fluffy and pointy at the bottom. His cheeks are fluffy a little bit. They kind of come to a point. You can't see it on that far side, but you'll see it on this side closest to us. See, it kind of comes down to a point at the bottom there. So sometimes when I adjust my sketch, I flip the canvas backwards and just see how it looks mirrored, and that kind of helps with getting proportions looking correct and all that. So moving on to doing his mane. His mane has like sort of a V in the middle of his forehead a little bit, and it's kind of like an oval shape with three peaks that lean backwards towards the back of his head. Here I started working on his ears, but I didn't really like how they turned out, so I erased those, coming up in just a little bit, and started over with those. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so I think what I did was I just continued with the mane, which it sort of follows the shape of his body. It's not a very thick mane, not like Mufasa or Simba. It's very kind of a thin mane, and his ears stick out the side of it, just like that. Here I started working on his legs. His front legs are a bit more defined than his back legs. They're still pretty thin because he's a thin character. And his toes are actually really bony looking, and they always have claws. His claws are always out on the front paws, and so that's kind of an important character feature. He also has a little tuft of fur on his elbow. Here, his back, or his front end is thicker and wider than his back end. His hips are really thin and narrow as compared to his chest. So those are his back paws. Make sure that when you're drawing the paws, the two toes in the middle are wider and bigger than the toes on the side. The ones on the side are always smaller than the toes in the middle. Working on the paws that are on the opposite side of the body, you see fewer toes than the ones on the side of the body that's closest to us, closest to the viewer. Another important feature that Scar has is that his hips stick out from the top of his back. His tail is long and swishy, kind of like all the lions in The Lion King. And I think I drew it too short in the initial sketch, so I'm just lengthening it a bit in the second sketch over top. So that pretty much covers all of his defining characteristics. I'm just going to make some adjustments, some things that are bothering me as far as proportions and stuff. His head size didn't look right, and his front leg there seems a little bit too thin and maybe at the wrong angle, so I adjusted that too. And yeah, so I'm just going to finish up this sketch, and then we'll go into the inks. One final adjustment, and I think that's it. There's Scar. So this part of the video is just me refining the sketch, and I tried to skip it. I tried to cut this part out, but my program keeps crashing, and it's 11:30 at night, so I'm just gonna leave it in here. I'm gonna finish up the rest of this drawing in time-lapse, and so hope you enjoy. Alright, so that's how I draw Scar. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to come back next week. I will be doing a painting like Bob Ross, so that ought to be fun. I'll see you guys then.